Bill McIntosh teaches AI non-stop. Success is his game, marketing's his fame. McIntosh, the marketing ace, follow his lead to the winning place. With AI become a spin, join him now, learn to win. Learn his way, don't delay. If you do, you'll make your fortune today.
Hey there, welcome to the show. Of course, I'm your host, Bill McIntosh, and this show is all about how to help you as an entrepreneur to either build your first business, if you haven't yet, or if you've already got an online business, I want to show you how you can grow it to highest ever stats, making more and more profit. And finally, if you've already got an existing business of any kind and you're just looking for some strategies and tactics to help you boost your revenue, that's what this show is all about. I've made it my mission in life to help as many entrepreneurs like you and I as possible, because that's how I make my impact on the world. Ultimately, it's the entrepreneurs that drive the world forward. When you look all throughout history, it is the entrepreneurs who are a driving force of culture, of society, of innovation, of science. And this is my way of helping do that to make the world a little bit better place. And this show is here to help you. And today we have a really crazy show. Okay, so today I wasn't planning on doing this, but Google had like a bombshell of a moment, perhaps maybe the biggest like leak or the biggest hack, I don't know what you want to call it, in Google's history as a company. And much of what was leaked confirms all of the marketers' conspiracy theories. Well, I should use air quotes, conspiracy theories. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to go through some of the details of the leak with you, and we're going to talk about the specific actionable items. What can we learn from this leak that we can implement in our businesses to grow our business, get more traffic, and get a little bit more Google love now that we actually know what Google wants. And they've been busted, by the way, on about at least five different things that they deny publicly, but these documents prove are true. So we're gonna get into that quite a bit. And then, of course, our other segment we're going to be doing today is going to be about AI. We're going to cover the best 4 ways to actually generate revenue using AI. And so those are going to be our 2 content segments of today's show. And then, of course, I'm hanging out with you, answering your questions and helping you out any way I can. So in the chat, if you do have questions as we're doing our content, you have some comments, feedback, suggestions, please keep them coming through the chat. I'm looking over there now. Chat looks pretty darn busy. So we'll be getting to that. But first, before we get into today's content, our traditional dad joke. So by the way, who here is new to the show? Before we do this is a little bit of it's become kind of a tradition. I like to tell, or actually I read a joke that ChatGPT gives me. So we kick off the show with an AI joke every episode. But who here is new to the show? Let me know if you've been on one or fewer of my live broadcasts. Say me in the chat right now. Give me a big me. You can put an exclamation point too, but or not, whatever you want to do. But let me know, give me a me in the chat if you are new to the show. Maybe you've been on one or less of our shows. And I'd like to know, okay, okay, good. I see a ton of familiar names, including some names that used to watch my original show over a decade ago. So Tom, if you're still out there, you can attest to that. I used to do a live streaming show way back before YouTube was even a thing. Before YouTube they didn't do streaming. I used a service called Ustream way back in the day, and I did a live streaming show teaching entrepreneurs just like I do now. But I've seen a couple old timers who have been with me since way back over a decade ago. But a lot of new people too. So I'm happy to see that the show is growing. We're trying to build a community of entrepreneurs around this show. And there's several steps we're going to be doing. We're on a big push right now to get to 10,000 subscribers. We're on the march to 10,000 subscribers. And once we hit that, I want to build a community around the show of entrepreneurs helping one another. And if you'd like to be part of that, I would recommend that you give us a subscribe. You'll see the big red button down below, and you just tap that subscribe button. One thing to be aware of is unless you hit the bell icon, so once you've subscribed, there's a little bell icon, and you need to tap it and tell YouTube you want all of your notifications. Otherwise, YouTube doesn't actually tell you when I publish new videos because we release multiple videos a week covering topics all related to getting traffic, making more money, different business models, and ways of running your business. And if you'd like more content like this and you want to be part of our community, then definitely give us a subscribe down below. And you can also, again, tap that little bell icon and tell YouTube you want to be notified when we drop content. Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. And if at any point during today's show you find that you've gotten some value, you're enjoying yourself here, give us a little bit of a like. Just tap that like button and show the show some love. All right, on to the tradition and then into today's content. So, of course, what we do here is I have a joke. It's a dad joke that ChatGPT has given me. I'm going to deliver the dad joke, and then we're going to rate it. So, Producer Nick, you get to rate my dad joke. So, Producer Nick, are you out there? Let's just make sure you're still out there.
Yep, I am.
Okay, fantastic. So, are you ready for the rating? We're going to do on the dad joke score of 1 to 10.
Let's do it.
Here we go. What do you call a bear with no teeth?
I don't know.
A gummy bear.
Oh, I like that one. That's above average.
There's like a delay. It's what I heard from before you. So that was good. Okay. So what do you give that? What's your score?
Yeah, like a 7.4.
7.4. All right. Audience, what do you think? What do you rate that one? Is it worthy of a 7.4? Usually Producer Nick is pretty, he's pretty tough on the dad joke ratings.
I'm a harsh critic.
Tom says that's awesomely bad. Yeah, that's kind of the point, right? We want those awesomely bad dad jokes. So, okay. So the scores vary from all the way from 3 to 9. So quite a varied opinion about that dad joke. All right. Fantastic. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, today we're going to be talking about two different things. First, we're going to be talking about AI, and I'm going to cover the 4 best ways to make money with AI today. I know there are literally hundreds of different methods and techniques of using AI to try to make money. Some of them are complete BS. Okay, I'll just put it out there. Some of the stuff I see being taught about making money with AI, they're full of it. But there are 4 that I am very interested in right now. One in particular is pretty darn awesome. So we're going to be talking about that. And then second segment today is in my emergency broadcast. We're going to be doing the breakdown of Google's leak. So they had a huge leak of insider information, and they've uncovered what they're saying is 14,000 different ranking factors that Google has kept hidden from the public. In fact, they have outright denied that many of them, some of their most powerful ranking factors, Google denied that they existed. They said they flat out didn't exist. And we now know that that's a lie and that they actually do exist. So we're going to talk about that. And more importantly, in the second segment, I'm going to get into what you can do about it. So how do you take the Google leak and put it into action into your business so you can get more traffic? Okay. So that's the agenda for today. Yeah, Tom says, surprise, surprise, Google lied. Yeah, could you believe it? Who would have thought? Next, we might think that Facebook told a lie. I don't know. Do you think that's possible? So that's the agenda today. All right. Now, I think I've turned off all my notifications, so hopefully nobody disturbs us during the show. And we're going to get into it. My teleprompter ready. And here we go. Now, for those of you who are new to the show, when we're live, I record these segments and I give this content to my editors and to my content team. So you may see me doing notes for my editor in the middle of the delivery. You might hear me doing retakes. And just so you know that, so you don't think I've gone crazy while we're going. but that's what I'm doing as I deliver these two segments today. So we're going to start the first segment right now. Here we go. Well, that is if my teleprompter is going to cooperate. Here we go. All right. Are you looking for the absolute best way to make money today with AI? There are literally hundreds of ways that you can technically use AI to make money. But let me tell you, most of them are a total waste of time. And I know in my 20 plus years of successfully building online businesses, I've managed to generate over $100 million by trying just about every marketing technique known to man. In this video, I'm going to break down the 4 best ways to make money right now with AI that are working this moment. Now, out of these 4 AI business models, there is one that stands above the rest, that is easier and has enormous profit potential. And it is by far my favorite strategy of them all. So stick around and watch all 4 methods to learn the true strategies that can put profit in your pocket. Let's get to it. Okay, little edit point for the editor. And here we go. So note for editor, you can clean that up and start from here. The first model we're going to cover, number 4, is the AI business model of using an AI-generated blog. Now, this is something that a lot of people are interested in and is commonly talked about, but most people are telling you to do it all wrong. But the ones that are doing it correctly are driving tons of visitors to their websites with AI-generated blogs. And don't let the hype and misinformation fool you, because this technique works. Despite what you've heard about Google banning AI blogs, absolutely not true. In fact, let me show you. I have one guy, I want to show you this case study, and he was able to generate over 700,000 visitors a month using AI-generated blog posts. Let's take a look. Okay. Note for editor, you'll have to clean that up, but here we'll go to the screen share over here and go like that. And I want that. All right. Note for editor, you'll pick it up from here. So you can see here that on this site, Single Grain, we talk about a case study, or he talked about a case study here about how using AI-generated content, he brought his traffic up to 750,000 visitors a month. And going into detail about this and the case study that did it, how he made it happen. Here's his post on Twitter talking about it. He generated over 7,000 pages to do it, and it got a ton of traffic. And he went into his content marketing strategy with it. But the point is, this really does work. And despite some of the changes that have happened with Google, it is still possible to do this. Okay, come around over here. Bodie's excited about that one. Okay. Here we go. Note for editor, you can pick it up from here. Now, 750,000 visitors in a month, that's a heck of a lot of attention. And like Grant Cardone says, money flows to attention. So when you can get that kind of attention from visitors coming to your blog, you make a lot of money. And there are a lot of people making money online with AI right now, like this other guy I'll show you, who managed to scale his blog of up to 15,000 a month in under a year. So let's take a look at this case study here. We'll go over here and back to the screen share there. Now, he used a tool called Koala Writer to do this, and he generated 15,000 a month. And he goes in, again, his journey of how he started, scaled up, and got his blog very profitable. So, and by the way, we will link to these case studies And I'll have them in my show notes. For those of you who are a member of my free newsletter, you'll also get our show notes as well. And yeah, so this case study here is over talking about that. Let's go over to here. Come back on the screen here. Now, there have been changes in the methods that you want to use to make AI content profitable on your website. And this is something that I actually help people with. So in my company, PushButton AI, you might have heard of it. So I'm going to do a quick retake. I don't know if you're hearing the dog in the background, but the joys of broadcasting from home. So rewind back up. Okay, retake, note for editor, pick it up here. And this is something that I actually help my clients with. You might have heard of my company, PushButton AI. We actually build entire businesses for you with AI. It's push button simple, as the name says. But one of the things that we do is we have a product we call Traffic Packs, where we do this strategy and we do AI blogging for our customers to help them get a ton of traffic. And it works incredibly well. Now, the beauty of a blog is that you can monetize it in many different ways. You can use a blog to sell your own products or services. You can use it to generate a newsletter, to build an email subscriber list. You can promote affiliate offers and get paid commissions for selling other people's stuff. The amount of ways you can monetize these sites is almost endless, but the point is you can capture the traffic and then turn that into profit. Now, moving on to AI business model number 3, and that is an AI e-commerce shop. Now, you might be wondering, what the heck is that exactly? How do you sell AI in a shop? And this is my second favorite way to make money right now, but it's by setting up AI-powered e-commerce stores. And it might be a little different than you're thinking. But specifically, what I'm talking about is print on demand. There's a lot of misinformation and flat-out lies about how to make money with this strategy. But there is a way to do this to make a ton of profit. In fact, right now, I am starting my own. Actually, it's a project I'm doing with my family. My son, my youngest son, and I are starting a brand new business. Maybe I can get my oldest son involved too. We'll have to see. But we're starting a brand new business in this niche, print on demand using AI. And this is the best way to start selling physical products if you don't have any skills to make your own. Now, print on demand, let me define this for you. It's when you upload artwork to a website and you sell that artwork on something. It could be something as simple as like a shirt, could be a phone case, like this one right here. That's actually a print on demand phone case you see right there. So pretty cool. There you go. I bought that phone case from a print on demand service. So you put the art on something, and it could even be a print that you put on the wall. It could be a coffee mug, phone case. There's a lot of options. And then when someone buys that product, another company, not you, you don't have to print these. They will print the design on the item and ship the product to the customer for you. Then you mark that up and you pocket the difference as your profit. Here, we'll do a little edit here. So note to editor if you can edit this again. Here we go. Print on demand is awesome if you're a beginner because it lets you set up an e-commerce store without having to spend a ton of money on inventory to get it started. There are a ton of print on demand companies that you can use. Some of them are like Printful, Printify, Redbubble. Those are some of the common ones out there. And you can Google those. I'll put links down below if you want links to those services. They're very easy to find. And there are a lot of people that use those services to sell designs that they generate with AI. I'd like to show you one in particular, a guy named Jonas Peterson who makes really cool designs with AI. It's impressive, actually. And what he does is he makes these designs and he posts them to Instagram and he promotes his brand and his cool art on Instagram. And then every once in a while, he does a launch. It's essentially a mini launch, and he sells prints of his AI designs on his websites. He does this a few times a year, and it generates a hefty amount of money. But let's take a look. I actually would like to show you Jonas's Instagram. and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So here it is here. And he posts, there's the art. So all of this art that you see on the screen is all generated by AI. And beautiful stuff, right? So like if we take a look at that, that's pretty awesome. And I wouldn't mind like a print of that hanging in my house, would you? There's another cool one like that one. So all of this are generated using AI tools. And then what he does, we can come up here. I'm going to go in his bio. Let's take a look at his site. Let's follow that link. And we can see here's his site. Right now, he does not have one of these launches going on. But there you see examples of his art framed and put in people's houses. Now, what's inspiring about this is that you can do this, right? The days of this used to be a very high bar. It used to be very difficult to do something like this and to launch a business like this. And if you've ever thought about how cool would it be to make cool art and designs and be able to sell them, again, the barrier to entry is so low now that you just use some of the AI image generation tools combined with the print-on-demand services I mentioned, and you can do the same thing that Jonas is doing. Now, what's interesting about this is he doesn't do this year-round, okay? So he doesn't have a shop that sells all year round. 3 or 4 times a year, he does these short bursts. He calls them drops. Now, during these drops, a typical print will go for about $1,700. So that's pretty awesome, right? So he attracts this following. He's using social media to put out these amazing images through all year long. He captures that audience, and then he sells a limited number of high-ticket prints. Okay. Now you can go that route, or you could try to sell it more in volume at a lower price. But he goes for the high price, low volume round. Okay. Now let's assume at that price he sells 100 prints in these drops that he does. That's about $170,000 every drop he does. $680,000 a year. Okay. So those are some projections based on what we can see he's doing. But that's pretty impressive, right? Making over $500,000 a year with AI generated art. Now, he hasn't revealed exactly which tool that he's using to make these images, but if I had to guess, I could recommend a tool that you could do this, that I know can make images of this quality. One of the best I like to use is Midjourney. Okay, Midjourney is something that I've used a ton in my own business, and I highly recommend it. Moving on, let's go to the next business model. This is a weird one. Let me tell you, I got to tell you, it's a little bit weird. It's probably a little controversial. And coming up next, by the way, is my favorite AI business model of all time. So we'll get to that in a moment. But first, the weird one. That is an AI influencer. This is someone who does not exist. In fact, we've toyed around with, we've been talking about behind the scenes here about creating an AI persona to launch in the make money online world. And we're not sure if we're going to do it, but we're thinking about it because this works. There are people making a fortune with personas that are just created, avatars, characters, whatever you might want to call them. And this one, it's a little bit freaky, but I had to tell you about this, okay? So now when I'm talking about an AI influencer, I mean someone who's fake, virtual. They don't exist. They're generated by AI. Now, these AI influencers have exploded in popularity over the last few months, and some of them are making a ton of money. Let me show you a couple. First, I want to show you this fake AI influencer named Aitana, who is making $10,000 a month. It's a virtual influencer who doesn't exist making 6 figures. Let's take a look. So here's Aitana Lopez, a 25-year-old Spanish model who does not exist. So they're posting on social media, landing sponsorships, and getting paid a ton of money promoting products and services of various kinds. And she does not exist. So she was created by a Spanish marketing agency. The reason that they created her is because they were tired of how expensive and difficult it was working with quote unquote real human influencers. In the fashion space, they had to use these models that were difficult, whether they were costly or difficult to work with. And now they have a virtual influencer that they don't have to deal with scheduling. They don't have to deal with travel, and they get paid just for having her do sponsorships of different fashion products. And there are tons of other AI influencers making lots of money doing brand deals in social media pages for a huge company. Companies like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Tesla, and even IKEA, the furniture brand. Now, brand deals for companies this large could be $10,000 each at a bare minimum. Now let's take a look at another AI influencer. This one is Michaela or Michaela. I'm not sure how you would pronounce how they spell it, but this AI influencer charges $10,000 per post. Again, she is a fake persona who does not exist, and she's charging $10,000 to promote your products on her Instagram. So they've done, and as an example, they did a promotion with Samsung and made over $10 million. Yes, you heard that right. $10 million made by that fake brand, that fake influencer in a collaboration with Samsung. It's mind-blowing. Let's take a look here. Oh, that's not the one. Okay, I might have got my links out of order. Whatever. We'll keep going here. I'll come back on camera. Okay, note for my editor. Again, clean that up, and we'll start from here. Now, with tools like Midjourney and HeyGen is another one, you can make your own AI influencer. That could be to promote your brands or to score brand deals like these huge influencers. Or imagine an AI influencer who attracts an audience for you. Like maybe you're a little camera shy. Maybe you're not like me. I don't mind jumping on camera. I enjoy being in front of a live audience and the interaction of a live environment. But not everyone can do that or wants to do that. And so if you would rather have a persona who stands in front of your business, and this is something that's been around for ages. Think like the Geico Gecko as an example, right? That is a fake persona that doesn't exist, or the General Auto Insurance, right? So and there are countless examples of these in huge Fortune 500 companies. So you can do this now. It no longer, like the Geico Gecko, they probably spend millions of dollars a year just making, at least he probably used to, making that gecko and doing the lines and paying of the voice actor and paying the CGI team to make him. And now with AI, you can do the same thing. AI is like the great equalizer. It levels the playing field so that now you and I can do stuff that used to only be in the realm of the Fortune 500 massive companies, okay? So an example, like we're tossing this idea around, we haven't executed on it, but one of the things that we've been thinking about is launching a fake persona, a brand called the Money Wizard, okay? And this is an AI-generated character that we spun up. We actually used it in Midjourney for fun. And you may have seen me, actually, we did it on stream. We made it, showed examples of this, and it's a funny-looking wizard who wears a wizard hat, and he's like, a funny combination. It's poking fun of the gurus, right? So I'm sure you're all familiar with the typical guru scene where you've got gurus in front of their Lambos, right? Or you got them in a casino somewhere in the Middle East, or, hanging out in Dubai, or on an island, paradise somewhere out in the Pacific island. But what we did is we took this wizard, we dressed him in all green, have him wearing like bling with money symbols on it. And we put him in all these different scenarios. And we're actually thinking about putting him out as a brand and actually building an audience for the Money Wizard. So we'll see. I don't know if we'll have time to execute on it, but that's an example of how I would use this strategy. Okay. So we used in Midjourney, there's a very specific technique that you can use to make what's called a consistent character. And we did training on it. And so I'm going to link in the video down below in the description. For those who watch this video, you can check out in the description afterwards. There'll be links to the resources that I pointed here and another video that will teach you how to make one of these AI avatars. So you can have a consistent character that can be a repeat character in your ads, in your branding, in your social media, or whoever you want to use it. And it could be a weird character like the Money Wizard, or it could be a real human-like character like the examples that we showed you. Now, we're coming down to my favorite business model of all time when it comes to AI. And there's actually a window. There's a window of opportunity, and it's open right this moment. And that is using AI to generate courses. And no, I'm not talking about garbage, bland courses that have no value. I'm talking about courses that have value, that help people solve problems in your niche. So everyone has problems of some kind or another, right? And they want to solve them. And so we create courses that help people solve problems and achieve their goals. So then they experience the benefits of that, right? So when they solve that problem, they achieve that goal that makes them feel fantastic. And we design courses specifically to accomplish that. Now, I've made literally tens of millions of dollars selling my own courses, okay? They're one of my favorite business models in the world. And I'm not the only one, by the way, having success with courses. Let me show you. There's a guy, I'm going to show you a case study here. He launched a course and he pulled in over $100,000 in just 4 days. Let's take a look. All right, note for editor, I'm a little sidebar here. For the audience watching, we're going to be covering the breaking news with the Google update and the Google leak and all the information about how to get traffic from Google. I'll be covering that as our next segment. Just a note for everybody listening, wondering about that. Yeah, we'll be covering that in great detail in just a few minutes. But now back to the program. So we'll finish this segment and be moving on to Google in just a couple of minutes. All right, note for editor, you can clip all that out, okay? And you can see here, this is in the blog newsletter operator, and this is in the blog newsletter operator, and it goes over how in just 4 days, he launched a course and made $105,637. And he says right here, you don't need a large audience to do it, okay? And he goes into detail about how he did it. First is all about the offer, what the course was going to be about, what was going to be in it, figuring out the price point. And he actually charged $999 for his course. He limited it. This is actually a strategy that helps people make decisions if there's scarcity and urgency to buy. And then he did it as a launch. He pre-launched the course and pre-sold it. This is actually one of my favorite things to do is when I'm going to launch a course, I will often pre-sell it. And I do this because I want to know from my buyers the best way I can help them. And then I adjust, adapt, and create the course to help that live group. My first group of buyers, I learn all about how to make my course perfect from them. And then I make the course tailored right to my first when I launch it and pre-sell it. And then they get a lot of value out of that. And it creates a course that has a lot of long-term value. Okay. And now, thanks to AI, it's easier than ever to make these. Now, of course, there's a strategy that I teach called 10 PGB. If you're a fan of the show, you probably have seen it. It stands for 10 problems, goals, and benefits. That's the 10 problems or goals that people in your niche market are experiencing and the benefits that they are seeking. So when they solve the problem, that benefit that they experience, that how they feel when they achieve a goal. And we use this method. It's called the 10 PGB method to uncover and pull out the gold that we can make a course that provides true value to our buyers. And that's the key to using AI courses properly. Now, I have a video on the channel that teaches you how to do this step by step. I will link to it down below in the description. So once you're done watching this video, down below will be the link to that if you'd like to learn step by step how to use this 10 PGB method to create your own online course. But I have a solution that I think is superior, and that is something called PushButton AI. Now, you might have heard of PushButton AI. It's actually a complete business builder. It's an AI business builder. It's an AI that can do the research for you using my 10 PGB method. Then it can write your entire course, every lesson. It can outline, figure out all the lessons that need to go in the course. It will then create a 12-lesson course. Often these courses are 60,000 words of content or more. They're packed full of value that your buyers and your customers will love. And not only does it create your course for you, it actually builds your sales pages, writes your sales letters, writes a 30-day email sequence to promote your course. It helps you find the perfect domain name for your course. It registers that domain name. It sets up your website. It installs your hosting, sets up WordPress, installs all of the paid premium plugins that ordinarily you would have to go buy yourself, and it does it for you and builds your entire website, configures it, hands it to you on a silver platter, and then it doesn't stop there. It will make video lessons, audio lessons, your social media posts that you need to promote it. It will even write articles and help you get traffic to your new course business. Pretty astounding, right? This is just one of the many business types that you can create using PushButton AI. And I'd actually like to show you, if you don't mind, I'll show you really quickly an example of how it works. And then we'll move on. Here we go. Let's go back to here. And here is our members area once you're in the PushButton AI software. And you can get in here, and what we're going to do in this example, we're going to come in here under apps, and you can see we have various different apps, including if you're not sure what topic to make your course on, we have an AI niche coach. It's literally an AI that helps you decide what your niche should be and what your course should be about. And then we want our AI course builder. There are many other things that you can build in PushButton AI, but right now we're going to go to the course builder, okay? And this is our course builder. And we have two options here. We got the simple option over here on the right. This is the easy option. And then over here on the left is the advanced option. If you want to, you can come in here and you can manually put in the 10 different problems or goals that your audience is experiencing. So if you already know, you could come in here and put those in yourself. And then you put the benefits over here. So this is the 10 PGB method. We have 10 problems or goals, and then the 10 benefits that they experience over here. Now, if you don't want to be an advanced user and have to write all of this yourself, and you'd rather just let the AI do it all for you, it can do all of that research and uncover all of the 10 most important problems and goals. Now, as an example, so right now, this is a course I was working on earlier about making a course for families who love their dogs and they want to have their dog become well-behaved. But let's try another one really fast, just so I can show you just how easy it is. And by the way, it does courses in English, UK, like the Queen's English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, and Dutch. We are talking about supporting more languages, and if there's enough interest, we can support more. But basically, let's go over here to the simple part of this and come up with a new one. And let's say that who we want to serve are people interested in real estate investing. Let's just say that. And what we're going to say here is how to buy and flip homes, okay? And here's some advanced features I won't really get into today, but if you just answer just these two questions, it will build an entire business for you. It's mind-blowing. With literally answering two questions and hitting this button, it begins the process and it can build your entire business for you. Let me just show you a quick example. So if we click fill form, you can see the AI has now gone to work. It's thinking about it and it did its that was fast, right? It already did the research, and you'll notice all of these changed here, okay? And it's covering all the stuff. Here are the problems and goals. They want to increase property value. They want to find undervalued homes. They want to learn local market trends, negotiate lower prices, improve property aesthetics, understand financing, build a reliable team, avoid common pitfalls, market effectively to buyers, and stay updated on regulations. That's pretty good. And so we can sit here playing around with this, and we can manually adjust any of these. All of these are editable. We can edit either the goal and problem or the benefit. Okay, so you can see here as an example, they want to increase property value in order to get higher resale profits. They want to find undervalued home to increase equity, so they have more equity, more profit in the deal. They want to learn local market trends in order to make better investment decisions, as examples. Okay, and this could be just literally about anything. So we could say here, how to care for a goldfish, and it could be for, oh, sorry, I did that backwards. So we'll do another one here really fast. We're going to say, children who want a pet goldfish. And we're going to say how to care for goldfish. I've never done this one before, so this will be interesting. Let's just see what it does. So hit the button and boom. So we have proper feeding schedule, so they learn responsibility. They have a healthy fish, so they have an enjoyable environment. Having a thriving goldfish, so they have a longer lifespan. Prompt treatment. They want a happy goldfish, low stress, dealing with aggression, goldfish health, choosing an appropriate tank size, and cleaning the tank. Pretty good. But you just play around with these, and you actually can build an entire course. So I could save this. I'm not going to do that for the demo right now, but I could save this and then move on and build an entire digital AI course business at the click of a button. Pretty awesome. Now, PushButton AI is not available at the time of recording this. Okay, sorry to say, we are in a closed private beta environment. But if you would like to learn more, you can come and experience a demo. So you can talk to my team, get a live demo. They can build a course with you on screen. So they'll do just like what I did. They'll work directly with you to help you identify the perfect course for you and your business and brainstorm it out with you. And then they can chat a little bit about it. And if it's a good fit, right? If it's good for you and good for us, we might extend an invitation to let you join what's called our early access program. And if you do that, you're going to get access to one-on-one coaching, consulting, a lot of help from me and my team to help you build, launch, and scale a business using our platform. This is only offered in our private closed program. We call it our early access program. And if you're interested in that, what you'll want to do next is head over to pushbutton.ai/demo. That's pushbutton.ai/demo. I'll put a link down below and you can schedule. So you'll see on the first page, put in your name and email. There'll be a short video from me. Make sure you schedule in the calendar. You'll need to go to the second step, schedule in the calendar, and then show up. And worst case, you'll learn a little bit about what the perfect course should be for your business. You get to brainstorm that out with one of my experts. And also, we're going to give you a complimentary marketing plan tailored and created specifically for you, just for saying thanks for checking out the platform. And that's the worst case that will happen. Or best case, it's a good fit and you get invited in and you can be part of our early access program. And so there you have it. Now, one thing I want to ask of you is if you could comment for me down below, comment in the comment down below and tell me what kind of course are you thinking about building? And I'll be in there, I'll be watching the chat, and I'll find out if there's anything I can do to help you get closer to launching that course, give you some advice. But yeah, pop it into the chat and let me know what kind of course, what kind of niche market are you interested in going into? And then we can chat and brainstorm about it in the comments down below. And one thing I want to remind you of, if you're not already a subscriber, tap that red subscribe button, give us a subscription, and join our community. We do live shows every week teaching entrepreneurs how to build their businesses, and we're launching content all the time where I teach how to get more traffic, how to build a business from scratch in just about any topic that you could imagine. So tap that red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell icon and say you want all of your notifications. And if you got value from today's video, tap that like button. It really does help. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you next time. Bye for now. All right, live audience. I'm not going anywhere. That's just for the recording. And so what I'm going to do quickly that segment went a little bit longer than I thought it would. So I want to do a quick round of Q&A about AI businesses. So we're going to stick it on topic to AI businesses like I just talked about. I'm running a little short on time. I have a private VIP Q&A I have to do in just a little bit. So I want to make sure I can get to that. So we're going to go a little fast. I want to do on-topic questions, and then we're going to dive into Google, which is the juicy stuff I think everybody really wants to hear about. So I've got some awesome information, actionable information about this leak that you can use in your business to get traffic. So we're going to be talking about that next. Producer Nick, do we have any questions out there?
No on-topic questions. There were some questions that came before we started related to the whole Google leak, but we'll save those for when we're on topic there.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Well, then we'll do a final call. I know there's a little bit of a delay from when I talk on mic till the kind of dog hair on the talking about dog behavior. I got dog hairs on my mic. So we'll give you just a moment. Any questions at all about building AI courses, the AI influencers, or any of the stuff that I just talked about with AI business models, go ahead and ask those now, and then we're going to get on to the Google topic next. And gives me a moment here to get a little caffeine. All right, cool. Then, you know what I think I'm going to do is we're going to take a very quick commercial break. So I will be right back in just about 2 minutes, and then we're going to move on to the next segment. Also, if you guys get a question popped in there while I'm on commercial break, I'll answer all those questions, again, related to AI businesses or AI courses in just a moment. But let's take a very quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with you in just 2 minutes.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
You know, the other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had PushButton AI do all the work, didn't you?
that's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using PushButton AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning, you wouldn't believe.
This PushButton AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
All right. Little note from the presidents there. Of course, that wasn't the real president. And that certainly wasn't Elon Musk, but there you go. Awesome. Well, I do see, I think we did end up getting a couple of questions coming in. And also, we are on ad break. I know that YouTube has also pushed out a few ads. So some of our audience might be seeing ads from YouTube. Some of you may not. Some of you might be. But we have that happening. And Producer Nick, I want to ask one last time, are there any questions about AI businesses or AI courses before we move on to Google?
Yep, during the commercial break, a few good ones rolled in. I'll start with Tom. He is a good one. He says, do you have to worry about any licensing issues or people stealing your AI characters or art?
So I would say Well, first, I can't pretend I'm a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an AI virtual lawyer either. But right now, the world of copyright and trademark surrounding AI is evolving. Okay, so I do know that is happening. Now, I can tell you that I believe, based upon my understanding of, just how I would approach it in my business, is that if we just had a single AI image that we generated, and we didn't modify it at all, we didn't really put any creativity in it, and we're trying to copyright it and then pursue copyright infringement in a scenario like that, you would probably lose. It probably couldn't enforce that copyright. However, if you have created a persona and there is an extensive amount of creativity in the persona and how they behave, and you're taking steps to really substantially put a lot of creative energy into what that persona is doing and their personality and even their likeness, then personally, I believe that is copyrightable, and that is something that you don't have to worry about people, ripping off your intellectual property. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer. I can't give you legal advice, but that would be based on my understanding, the answer to that. Yeah.
All right. This is from Steven. He says, what AI applications are popular?
What AI applications are profitable?
Popular.
Popular. Got it. Sorry. I would say, PushButton AI, right? That should be at the top of the list. It should be on the top of everyone's list. So that's my favorite. But I would say next up, like one that is pretty universally used, is the big giant one, ChatGPT from OpenAI. For images, ChatGPT can also do images. The OpenAI has something called DALL-E 3, and it does a pretty good job. Midjourney is one that we really love. I like Midjourney. I think because you can be a little bit more creative, wouldn't you say, Nick?
Yeah.
And it has a little bit more of an artistic flair and a little bit more control over the style and artistry of what you're making. I like Midjourney. That's be another one. And then there are a ton of others. There's Udio. If you want to make music, that's our favorite here currently. And anything else worth mentioning?
There's I see everyone talking about adcreative.ai. It's that we've talked about it. It's the name is pretty self-explanatory. You give it a text prompt and it makes you a batch of ads you can use. I think the Neil Patel $7 million AI case study.
Yeah.
I think he was using that for that case study. So
okay.
I haven't used it, but I hear people saying good things about it. I'll link it in the chat.
Awesome. All right. Do we have any other questions?
And this is from Mike. He says, what do you think about cookbooks?
Cookbooks could be pretty cool. If you know nothing about cooking, I would be a little worried maybe about what kind of recipes that AI is going to cook up for you. For example, Google's Gemini got busted telling people to use glue to help hold cheese on their sandwiches, I think was how it came out. Do you know that story, Nick?
I do. It's on pizza.
Pizza, that's right. Yeah. So little Elmer's glue to keep the cheese on the pizza. So watch out for that. But one thing that could be pretty awesome, we had a very large recipe blog that we drove a lot of traffic to a few years back. And one of the challenges often were the images. And that's a place I think that could shine. You could actually have a tool like Midjourney or DALL-E create the visual representation of your recipes. So that actually could be very useful for AI.
Cool. We have a few more rolling in.
Let's go for it.
Yes. So this is from Wi-Fi Payday, and he says, if I use Go High Level, is this needed to do AI courses?
If you're a Go High Level user, they do have a course feature. I right now PushButton AI doesn't integrate with it. It is something that we are currently investigating if we even can. But you could use the course, the lessons, and through copy and paste, move them into high level. But right now we don't have an integration, and it's not clear if we can even make one based on. We're doing some research right now about Go High Level's back end systems to see if we can integrate with it. But right now it would be a copy and paste method. Yeah, and one thing I will say too is PushButton AI is self-sufficient. Like it literally creates everything. So it does all of your hosting, your website, your shopping cart, the whole checkout process, your learning management system to for people to log in and go through your courses. Everything is self-contained in the businesses that it builds for you. So it doesn't require you to use something like Go High Level, doesn't require you to use hosting even. We host everything. We take care of all the technology, and it's just turnkey and ready to start making profit. All right, next question.
Yes, from the same guy. He says, how do we create consistent AI characters?
There's a great video from this guy I know that teaches you how to do that. Can we link to that, producer Nick?
I'm on it, yeah.
Okay. You might have seen him before. He looks very familiar.
Yeah, linked in the chat. Okay. Yeah, another question on consistent characters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we're caught up on this topic. I think we're good to go.
Fantastic. Then it's Google time, which I think is what everyone's waiting for. I know there was a lot of interest in that at the beginning of the show. So we're going to move on to the big G. But first, a dad joke. You ready to rate this one?
Yes.
Okay. Why did the bicycle fall over?
Why?
Because it was too tired.
Oh, okay. That's another decent one. Like the gummy bear one was a lot better, but this is like a six.
A 6. Okay. Audience, what do you give it? Scale of 1 to 10. How does that rate on the scale of dad jokes? Let's see what you give it. Tom doesn't like that one. Edward gives it a 4. Uh-oh.
Oh, no, that's a bad one.
Wow,
that's the first time I think my rating was higher than the chat's. Usually the chat's pretty generous.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, we got some. Mr. Bill gives it a 2. Marketing Answers gives it a 6. Ken gives it a 3. Steven says, oh, man, that was a chuckle. Okay, hey, we got a chuckle out of you. Okay.
That's a first ever where I'm less generous.
Yeah, you're usually very critical of the dad jokes. So, yeah. Okay, fantastic. Well, then we're going to dive into the wonderful world of Google. Okay. Now, for my live audience, again, same thing. I'm recording this segment so we can use it in content. But I'm going to tell you just a little bit of inside info at the beginning. I might repeat it while we're recording, but so I've been doing SEO a long time. So going back 20 plus years of SEO strategies, even before Google was the prominent search engine. So believe it or not, we tried very hard to get ranking on something called Alta Vista back in the day. It goes way, way back. Some of you, like Tom, probably remembers that. But so let me know, any other old timers in the live chat here with me that remember Alta Vista? Or it was Alta Vista and Yahoo. Those were the two big players. And Yahoo was just a big directory, really. It was you'd have to submit your site manually to Yahoo and get approved, and then it would go in the directory, and then it was like a search of their directory. And okay, yeah, a couple other old timers here with me. Okay, good. Yeah, so I've been doing this quite a long time. And back then, to get a site ranking on page 1, all you had to do was stuff a bunch of keywords on your page or in your in what's called the meta tags and the code that would be behind the the HTML code that goes into building a web page. You just stuff a bunch of keywords in there. You could hide them, so you could have a black background and then make a bunch of text black so no one would see it, and boom, you could rank right on page one. It was awesome. It's gotten a little harder than that over the years, for sure. But I've been doing this a long time, and there's been a lot of conspiracy theories about how Google works. Okay, and in fact, there's strategies, very, very precise tactics that I've been teaching my clients and students and or on the show here for many, many years, that Google has flat out called me a liar, right? Saying that is not true. That does not work. No, we do not do that. It's all proven. I've been proven correct. So with this leak, it says very clearly that at least 5, probably closer to a few dozen different things that Google has flat out denied as being, being false or being, conspiracy theories is now proven true. So we're going to dive right in and talk about this. And I'm going to cover some of it's 14,000 different things that basically got leaked from Google. And this was part of their internal documentation. And the horrible thing is, with the way Google, they accidentally released this information to the public, and the license on it granted anyone who views it a license to reuse it and publish it and do whatever they want with. So I'm not even sure that they can, I think I could literally take all of the 14,000 leaked documents and just republish them. And I don't think there is any legal standing that Google can do about it. So at this point, they're in the public domain. Everybody has them. Okay. And I don't think Google can do anything to stop it. And this was internal documentation. So for Google tech staff to understand all of the different, I'm not going to get into the tech too much, but there's something called an API, which is a application programming interface where basically code and systems can talk to one another. So you can have 2 different systems talking to each other. And this was all of their internal APIs. So how all of their systems talk to each other when it comes to ranking, scoring, crawling their web results. And in it was a ton of information that is quite useful. So that got leaked. I haven't heard yet any response from Google yet. I don't know today if they've responded, but there's been a few people that have published articles and some other information about it. I'm going to show links to. There's one guy who kind of released this leak that I'm going to be showing you a blog post from him. I'm probably not going to link directly to the Google the Google stuff. Just I think YouTube being owned by Google probably would smack me for that. So I'm not going to link to it in the video or anyway. But on screen, I will show a couple of blog posts and some information about this leak, and So we're going to do that. Yes, Mike says we're going to be here a while with 14,000 things. So don't worry, I'm not going to go line by line. I'm just going to go over the most important points. Okay, there's 2 or 3 big picture things that are now proven, that are no longer conspiracy theories, that are things that you can do something about, and that's what we're going to focus on. So I'm going to zero in on the things that you are in control of and that you can do to make your sites rank better on Google. Okay. All right. So let me get the teleprompter set. And we'll get started. So again, I'm recording this so that we can, my content team can edit it up and work on it. So you might see me doing retakes or notes to my editor, just so you know what's going on. And then, of course, once I'm done, when I get through the body of the content I'm about to deliver, then I will, we're going to go to Q&A and we can chat a bit about this. Should be pretty good. So with that, we shall get started. When you score a top ranking in Google, it can send you tens of millions of visitors and generate millions of dollars in profit for your business. And I would know, I've driven hundreds of millions of clicks to my websites over the years. And when I score a top Google ranking for the right keyword, it rains profit all around. And if you want to rank your website on Google's first page, now is probably the best chance you're going to get, because there was just a massive leak that came directly from Google, actually a mistake on Google's behalf. They released their entire documentation about how their ranking systems work. And this leak in Google, they accidentally revealed over 14,000 different factors that determine how Google will rank your content. Now, before this leak, it was basically just a big guessing game. Figuring out how to rank on Google often felt like trying to just fumble around in the dark, trying to find something with no flashlight, right? You could feel your way around and see the furniture, but knowing precisely where to go was sometimes tough. Now, Google never outright revealed how to rank your website on the first page. In fact, they tried to hide it. Now, the community at large would do testing, and guys like me would do tests with our websites, publish the results, and give advice about what was working for them. And then we all as a team would kind of try to figure out through trial and error, and then Google did their best to reveal as little as possible. Now, there were many rumors and many, I should use air quotes, conspiracy theories that have been now absolutely proven correct, including some of the methods that I've been teaching my students for years to get traffic that Google has flat out denied. They said what I was saying was false and fake and untrue, and now we know the truth. Hopefully, after I share the most important parts of this leak with you in this video, we're going to be able to rank higher in Google, and it will no longer be a mystery. So if you would like to learn what are the actionable bits of information that you can go out and take action today that will help you rank in Google by exploiting what we have learned from this Google leak, then stick around. Let's get into it. All right. Give me a moment here. Note for editor. We're going to I'm going to share my screen, and then we're going to do a little more here. Let's see here. So add to stage there. And there we go. And producer Nick, you might want to pop out of the, there we go. Cool. Let's get into the leak, okay? So you can see here on the site SparkToro, an anonymous source shared thousands of leaked Google search API documents with me. Everyone in SEO should see them. And this goes into the story. I will link to this blog post in the description of the video so you can read it for yourself. And this goes over the story about the person who leaked this document and who got it out into the public. And why they believe it's true. It's not fake. It's not, old. It's current, new information, and it appears to be 100% accurate. Okay, and he goes into this is all about the leak. So, and he goes into great detail about it. So that's this blog post here. Okay, and we're going to dive in on a couple things that are vitally important about what is actionable about this. And there's another analysis of the document that I will link to as well. This is a Google Doc that goes into great detail about all the different stuff. A little bit of it is kind of technical, so some of it might be a little bit hard to follow, and it is their documentation for their technical team. So again, some of it might be a bit challenging for those who are not technical, but I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. And finally, one other thing I want to show you is iPullRank has a great blog post that also goes into much more detail about what they have found. Okay. And that's pretty crazy here. 14,000 different ranking features, they call them, spread out across 25, almost 2,600 different modules inside Google. And so what I want to do is I always want to break down and go through a few of them. And there's one thing in particular that I want to focus on. And this is probably the biggest one that Google has denied. Google has it's almost like a funny smoke and mirrors situation where they want the world to think that the way they rank is all from algorithms and all automatic using math, okay? And that is just not true. It is part of their ranking. It's a core part of how their systems work, but a lot of really what determines what ranks at the top is manual. It is by human behavior, and manual reviewers are the two huge factors, okay? Don't get me wrong. Things like links and other things like that are vitally important. And a lot of what you've learned with traditional like search engine optimization tactics are important. But the thing to really take away here is that Google is using things like the Google Chrome browser. So think about this for a moment. If you use the Google Chrome browser, Google knows everything you do. They've been busted. In fact, the government has busted them even in a private browser. When you go incognito mode, they've been busted even capturing data about those users, right? So why would they do that? If I wanted to determine if a web page was good or not, wouldn't that be the ultimate determination? Is what do the users actually do when they go to that web page, right? Do they browse the whole web page? Do they stop? Do they click? Also, what about search engine spam? So there are billions of pages created and links, right? We all know that links are like the holy grail that all of the people are chasing to get as many links pointing at your website so you can get search rankings from Google. But wouldn't one really easy way to tell if a link was good or not was if anybody was clicking on it? And if you had billions of people and all of their click data on every link they've ever clicked on, wouldn't it be very easy for you to tell if it was a spam link or not if nobody ever clicked on it? So if you go and buy a link from a blog post or a press release or any kind of paid linking, and that link is on a page that's just buried on a website and no human ever actually clicks on it, do you think Google is really going to rank your site? Absolutely not. So Google not only is using the behavior that they see in the Google Chrome browser to tell what people do when they get to your pages. They know if your pages are fulfilling to those users. They know it. They have X-ray vision to watch while people engage and interact with your website. So they know when someone goes to the Google search engine and they say, I want to learn how to train my Chihuahua to stop barking. And they type that search in, and if your site comes up, they click your site, they know if your page actually fulfills that search intent. Not because of the words that are used on the page, not even because of the links. The main thing they know is because of user behavior. And when the users get to your site, if they immediately bounce back and go to a different site, Google knows that, right? They know if they go even if they don't bounce back to the Google search engine. Let's say you search Google and you're in the Google Chrome browser and you go to you click on Joe's dog training and you go to his page and you don't see what you want, but then you go over to Reddit and you search over there and you go to a third site and you search over there and then you finally find what you're looking for. Even though you're not doing it on Google, Google sees all. So they can tell that Joe's dog training site didn't fulfill your search intent. They didn't get you what you were looking for, but the final one at the end of that trail did. So they know that. And again, also, when they're trying to figure out spam, if people are putting out people do use AI to put out garbage AI content that is just not useful, does not serve the search intent, does not help the user. And there was this huge conspiracy that Google was smacking all of the AI content on the web. Just not true. The thing is, they knew from user behavior what's helpful and what's not. That's their entire helpful content update. And when they can't figure it out based on the behavior that they're measuring from the Google Chrome browser, they know it because they have an army, a massive army of real humans, not AI, but real humans that do quality rating. So if there's a page that's getting a good amount of traffic and Google's not sure of the quality, right? They're not getting enough signals really to tell if it's a quality site or not. They send a real human to go look at it and score it. In fact, that was another document leak that happened a couple of years ago, is the Human Quality Rater Guidelines. You can go look it up and read it. You can read the Human Quality Rater Guidelines and what they're looking for. And so this is where you hear people talk about EAT, E-E-A-T. And these are all the factors that go into ranking. So these are things like authority, trust, and trying to see whether you have, you're a topic authority on the topic. And a lot of what is in that is from their human quality raters. Right? That's also now becoming really plain from this leak. Okay. So now I understand Google would not want to admit publicly that they're spying on all of their users. Right? It's not a good look. And I know like the media is going to spin this into like, whoa, look, Google's spying on you. Right? But I mean, duh, they give you a free browser and all these free tools. And why would they do that? Right? So this is now why. And now in the past, when I've talked about this, people said I was a conspiracy theorist and it's not true. And Google denied it. They flat out said it's not true. And we now know that I was right. So what I advise, what you can do about this, especially if you're a newer site, is you need to get visitors to your site. Even if you're getting links, you're publishing blog posts, and even if you're using an AI blogging tool like ours, like you can use PushButton AI and we will blog on your sites and help you get traffic. But the thing that you can do to jumpstart this process is, number one, make sure the content is actually helpful. Make sure the content that's being published is useful and solves the search intent of the keywords that you're targeting. You really have to get that right. There's just no way around it. Then you want to make sure you get human visitors to your site. How do you do that? Well, if you can't get Google to rank you, try Twitter. Put out some Facebook posts. Use other strategies. Google is not the only strategy in the world to get traffic. In fact, what I advise is that you publish the post on your blog and then distribute it all throughout social media. I even go so far as to put paid advertising on my content. So I'll spend a couple of bucks a day advertising my content. Why? Why would I do that? Because now I'm sending signals to Google that real humans are clicking from Facebook. They're going to our website. They're browsing around. They're clicking links, and they are winning. They're getting the information they want. They're getting a good experience. And now Google goes, oh, look at this. Here's a cool page. The users are going to it. They're liking it. It's getting shared in social media. It looks like it's kind of getting a little bit of getting some likes, getting some reshares. Let's rank it. And there you go. You're off. Now, the other factor that Google hasn't talked about that they've been kind of hiding, there's a few other things. First, links are still important. They're still very, very important. And that's a dominant thing in their search algorithm. But links that don't get human clicks are a total waste of time. Just don't even bother with link tactics. So if you're going to get a link and no real human is going to be clicking that link and coming to your site, it's just not worth doing. So if you can get links pointing to your site on actual busy sites that have traffic that are going to get real clicks, okay, now that actually has weight. Google will score that well, and it will help pass that rank to you. Now, the best type of rank is the domain authority of your website, which was also denied by Google. Google flat out said there is no such thing as domain authority. Everybody in the SEO community knew that was a lie, and now it's proven true. It's in the documentation, it's in the leak. So your domain name has authority that comes with it. And that authority is established largely from how many links it's getting, especially to your home page. Now, if you get a bunch of garbage links that no real humans are clicking, pointing to your homepage, it's not going to help you. But if you get high quality links where real people are clicking on them, whether it's a blog post somebody made talking about your business with a link pointing back to you, or something you put in social media or wherever, but if real humans are going through a click stream through that link to your website, Google will value that more highly, and it will help you get authority. The more popular the sites are that you're getting links from, the better. And it is good to point these links to your homepage. So we now know from Google's documents that is really kind of, if you're looking at what a lot of people talk about as domain authority, it's largely from how many links are pointing to your homepage, okay? Now, another human behavior tip that I want to tell you about is search behavior, okay? The secondary behavior after somebody searches on Google is important. So it's important when someone searches on Google, they track, do people click on your search page first, number one. So if Google gives you a shot and they list you in the search engines, if none of their users are clicking on your link because it's not appealing for some reason, they drop you. They're going to drop you right out of the searches. So your links that when they show up in Google need to be appealing so that someone will want to click it when they see it showing up in the search engine, okay? That is largely determined by the title of your page. So if you've got a title that is not user-friendly, it's not compelling, it doesn't make people want to click, that's the first thing that happens is when Google sees no one's clicking, out you go. They're going to drop you right out of the search. So now somebody clicks and they go to your website. What happens? What is the downstream behavior from that? How long do they stay on your page? Do they scroll very far? Do they go deeper into your website? And do they get signals that user found what they were looking for? Okay, that's important. Another interesting thing that could happen is let's say I'm thinking about a particular brand that I want, and I don't know, we'll go back up to my fake example of Joe's Dog Training Academy. Okay, so let's say that I'm thinking about Joe's Dog Training Academy, and I go to Google and I type in dog training in Lake Forest, right near me, and I don't see Joe's link. And I don't really get what I'm looking for. And then I go and I change my search query and I type in Joe's Dog Training Academy and I search again. And then I go to Joe's site and I get what I'm looking for. Google will tie those two independent searches. It'll tie them together and it'll realize that, oh, look, Joe's Dog Training Academy is related to dog training near me or dog training in Lake Forest. It will connect those two things and then rank Joe's site for the generic search term. That makes sense? Now, these are just some examples of this, but it's really important at this day and age to realize that a lot of, and I understand, right? This was a fantastic way for Google to just eliminate a bunch of spam just by watching what the humans do, okay? And it's time for us as entrepreneurs to realize that there is no, like, these short-term tricks just won't work in today's environment, right? If I can go out and I can spend a bunch of money and buy a bunch of links to temporarily boost my site. But if nobody is clicking those links, and if the few people who do click them come to my website and have a bad experience, I'm never going to get long-term rankings from Google. It's just not going to happen. So what can we do about this? Well, it is to focus on things where we can get real live humans to our site to show Google that our site is worth ranking. That is the single biggest takeaway. And my strategy that we actually covered on the channel, a strategy on how to do this, on how to actually create content using AI, by the way, that is awesome, that your users will find helpful. And then what do you do to get traffic using that strategy? So I'm going to put a link down in the description to that training. It'll walk you through how to do it so that you can take advantage of this new information that we have leaked. And we now know that human behavior and using the strategies that I've been teaching will score you top rankings in Google. And the final little bit of fake news I want to cover is the idea of the sandbox. You ever heard of the Google sandbox? And that's the idea that a new domain, or even new pages to some extent, but mostly new domains, were thrown into a sandbox and not allowed to rank. Turns out that's true. Google denied it. For years, Google has said there is no sandbox. there is. It is absolutely a thing. It's in their documentation. And it's hard to tell precisely, but it seems like it might be about anywhere from 30 to maybe 90 days of this new sandbox period. So for those of you who are starting brand new websites, how do you bust through? Well, the documentation is clear. You get real humans to your website. That is how you do that. The other factor, one last thing I'll talk about, is Google pays a lot of attention to brand searches, the name of your business or the name of your website. And if you get a lot of brand searches on a brand new domain name, so let's say you launch a domain, let's say Joe's Dog Academy. I'll go back to that, right? So we just set up Joe's Dog Academy. I registered joesdogacademy.com, and I want to get traffic to my dog academy. I want to train lots of dogs, okay? Well, immediately I'm going to be thrown in the sandbox, and Google's not going to trust me. But if I get enough users coming to my website and browsing around that Google can see, that'll help. But what can help even more is if those users go to Google and they type Joe's Dog Academy in Google looking for me and hit search. Guess what? Right out of the sandbox you go, and you can rank, okay? So I'm not going to tell you how to use that, okay? And you don't want to abuse it, right? You don't want to be going out and doing hundreds of searches like that. And I'm not going to give you any black hat advice on how to use that data. But there you go. If Google sees that you get real users to your website and real users are doing searches in Google for your website domain name, for your brand name, it will pop you out of the sandbox and you can get rankings. So there we go. That's the last little tidbit. I'm going to be talking a lot more on the channel about this leak. There's 14,000 different items to go through. So there's more revelations that will be coming from this. And I'm going to have some very specific, tactical, actionable instructions that I'm going to be releasing on the channel. So if you haven't yet, subscribe. You'll see that red subscription link down below. Give it a tap. Make sure you tap the bell icon and tell YouTube that you want notifications from our channel. YouTube is famous for you to subscribe to a channel and then they don't notify you when they put out content. And we're going to be releasing a lot more training on how to get traffic to your websites, especially brand new sites. If you've just created a website for the first time, there are some very unique and different things you need to do with a brand new site that for an old established site don't really matter. So we're going to be releasing training on how to rank a new site in today's Google using all of the new information that we have released. So again, subscribe to the channel. And if you got value today, tap that like button down below. And we'll be linking to all the resources and the story down below in the description. By the way, what would you like to learn about Google? Any questions you have about search engine optimization, drop them in the chat. You'll see down below or in the comments. Drop a comment down there. I'll be checking in and following the comments. Let me know if there's anything in particular you'd like to learn about this leak or about how to rank on Google, and I'll engage with you in the chat, and then we may take that up in one of our next videos. So on that note, we shall see you next time. Bye for now. All right, audience. We are going to dive into your questions and talk a little more about this leak. And then we're going to be wrapping up for the day after that. So I'm going to be going to all of your questions. We'll go in detail about the leak, any other stuff you want to know. And there's some things I didn't want to say in my recorded video, so we can talk about some more sensitive content in the follow-up. But what I'm going to do next is we're going to take a very quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with your questions. So any questions you have about Google, the leak, SEO, traffic, pop those into the chat, and we'll be back right after this, and I'll answer all your questions.
You know you can now launch your own online business with the click of a mouse? Sounds crazy, right? Guess what? It's now possible thanks to our game-changing AI software that's helping beginners build a successful online business. If you have tried and failed at building an online business or you've got no idea where to start, there is good news for you. We are entering a new exciting era of AI, and I'm here to teach you how to use it to build and grow an online business. Because I'm handing you a blueprint, a business in a box powered by AI, and it's called PushButton AI. Imagine a tool so smart it does all the heavy lifting for you. Builds an info product business, sets up hosting, launches the website, and even crafts engaging email sequences. Here's the thing. This isn't like anything else out there, and this is based on what's working right now. PushButton AI is based on my experience of generating over $100 million over the last 20 years and helping over 81,942 customers build and grow their own online businesses. If you'd like to find out more about this, register now and dive into my free live demo to uncover strategies and traffic tricks that will pivot your business and skyrocket your online business from surviving to thriving. Imagine what your life would look like today if you bought Bitcoin when it was $1. You now have the same opportunity with PushButton AI since nobody else is doing this. Don't miss out this time.
All right, so we are back. Some of you might still be seeing ads, which of course you don't hear me if you're seeing ads, but just so the rest of the audience knows, a little bit of a delay while the YouTube ad break finishes doing its thing. And we'll be, I'll be right back with all your questions. And here's something exciting. So, we're about to start a big push to 10,000 subscribers. But right now, today, we're going to cross the 8,000 subscriber mark today. And I can do it with your help. So give us a subscription. So if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, just ask a favor. If you haven't yet subscribed, then tap that red icon. You'll see it below the video there. We're closing in. I want to hit 8,000 subs today before the day is up. So do me a favor, tap that red subscribe button and help us hit that milestone. And we're going to be doing some cool stuff. So we're driving to hit 10,000 subs. So I got just about 2,000 more. We're going to be doing a huge promotion with my subscriber list and customers and all of that to try to get us pushed over 10,000. And I have a massive contest. So everyone who is a subscriber to the channel is going to be able to win from a huge pool of prizes. At this point, we have over $10,000 in prizes that we have put together. We're going to be giving away to get to 10,000 subscribers. And if you're a subscriber, you'll be eligible to win from that big pool of prizes. And so, help us out. We'll cross the 8,000 milestone today and hopefully the 10,000 very, very soon. And I'll be eternally grateful for your subscription today. And with that, let's go to Q&A.
Yeah, we have we have a few good questions. This one's from Tom, and he says, does PPC click-throughs to your content help Google rankings and get you out of the sandbox?
It would seem so. There doesn't seem to be any evidence that they filter out paid clicks. It's clear that they're watching clicks. And that's the one thing we know for certain. I don't see evidence that they're filtering paid versus organic clicks in this click stream. So I would think that paid clicks, as long as those paid clicks are resulting in good user behavior, right? That's the thing to watch out for. If you run ads and your targeting isn't right and you get clicks that bounce, they pop right back out, that actually could hurt you. So if you're experiencing a really high bounce rate on your paid ad clicks, that can end up not helping and hurting instead.
All right. Another good question. This one's from Mike. He says, what do you think about social media posts linked to a main website? What did you find out about Google's rankings based on social media posts?
Well, we know that they have social signals, but more importantly, it's the user behavior, right? So getting your stuff shared in social media does help your rankings, okay? So getting reshares, retweets, and with lots of links pointing back to your website, that helps, okay? But what we now know is more important than that, is that you get real users clicking on those social media links and having a good experience on your website. Okay, that's what's more important. Because think about it, it's really easy to game that. There are vendors right now. I can go buy 10,000 social media shares and have them all done by tomorrow morning. Okay, but if they're on a bunch of fake garbage accounts that no human ever is going to click, it'd be pretty easy for Google to just not count all of that, or heck, worst case, maybe even penalize me. But let's say I share it on a handful of social media profiles and I get real human clicks. And more importantly, those real human clicks have a good experience on my site. Well, now Google's going to give me a big reward for that, right? My odds of getting ranked in Google go up significantly. Make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Fantastic. What else do we have?
Yeah, this is a comment from Tom, not a question. He says, sites that they want to censor probably get stuck in the sandbox permanently.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. So but the problem here too is I think there's a lot of collateral damage, I guess you'd say. So I think in some cases, if someone creates a spam site and they load it up with thousands of pages of garbage content, and then they go out and buy a bunch of fake links, are they going to probably stay in the sandbox? Yeah, because there's going to be no real human behavior, and the little bit of human behavior that they do get is going to show a bad experience, and then Google will never rank their site, right? But how many business owners know about this? How many business owners actually know how to set up their website, how to put out good content, how to make sure they get real humans to have a good experience on their site? So what I think is happening is we have this huge amount of collateral damage where small businesses, especially like local, mom and pop kind of offline businesses, I think a lot of them get caught up and they just never get ranked. They get permanently stuck in the sandbox, or they get a penalty, and then they don't actually get to enjoy the rankings because they don't know any better. They don't know how to, I think that for someone like me, right, it's second nature. I know how. Oh, it's easy. Let's just, here are the 3 steps you do to get this to happen. But most business owners don't know this stuff. So yes, they get the spam, but they also get collateral damage, and there you go. So I hope this leak empowers small business owners to be able to, escape a false, sandboxing or a false penalty. That's my hopes from this, is that now that we know how Google works, and honestly, sure, there are ways to game this, right? You could have an army of people go on your website and behave in a certain way. You could have an army of people clicking links and searching Google and, doing that. But I think that's going to be pretty darn expensive. I mean, to get real humans in the, we're not talking about hiring a bunch of people in some third world country where we can get, people to work for $1 an hour to then come to our website and do stuff. That's not going to work unless we want to target those third world countries, right? That's what Google will see is like, oh, look, a bunch of people in the Philippines or in India or in China like our content. So they're going to show it to that audience. If we want them to rank, we want our site to rank in the United States or in Europe or in Australia or a first world country, we need visitors from those countries. And that's not going to be cheap to fake, It's way easier to fake links. I can buy links. I can buy social shares. I can buy content. But buying, real human behavior is going to be very expensive. So I think there'll be a lot less of ways to game Google's system this way.
Yeah, another comment from Tom. He says, quality rating by humans seems like that could be really biased and inconsistent.
I agree. I've been personally caught up in this. So I know for a fact that I have domains that were very important to me. They got smacked. And I know they got smacked because of a quality rater, a manually applied quality rater penalty. Okay. And it's not necessarily easy to recover from that. And, I mean, what's funny is you have a person who knows nothing about my niche, who knows nothing about the content that I'm publishing, nothing about anything, to come to some quick conclusion. You can imagine the pressure that the quality raters are under to rate lots of pages. They probably have quotas, in fact, to rate, whatever, hundreds of pages and maybe 1,000 pages. Who knows what that is, but I'm sure they have pressure to rate as many pages as possible. So I think there's quite a few times where they get it wrong, and then some poor business owner or entrepreneur gets a penalty because the quality rater, was in a rush and didn't fully understand what they were looking at. So, it's definitely an imperfect system, and I don't think a lot of people really understood that Google has this army, a massive army of people that are physically bringing up pages and rating and reviewing them. I think everybody thought it was all just, like a robot, an algorithm.
Okay. So we have this is a comment from Mike. He says, Google earns money based on people using their search engine. The better the content, the better your rankings, because they're selling ads against your created content.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, look, there's no conspiracy as to why they're doing this, right? It's clear they're trying to figure out how to give their users a good experience, right? I mean, otherwise you're just going to go to the next big search engine, right? And right now, in fact, Google is losing market share. I don't know if a lot of people realize that. For the first time in the company's history, they're actually losing market share of search. And I think they're vulnerable right now, especially with some of the big AI companies like Perplexity, for example, or even OpenAI. Google is in a vulnerable position right now. And they're scrambling, trying to figure out how to give the best search experience to their users, right? So no conspiracy there. And I don't fault them for that. That's the best business practice, the best thing that they should be doing. But what I don't like is that they keep it a secret, right? So that it leaves small business owners and entrepreneurs like us sort of in this funny situation where we don't know what to do. We don't know what the right thing to do is to try to work with Google because they keep it in a big black box. But now we do. So now we know. And by the way, I'm curious, anybody here, like, it's funny, it doesn't bother me that Google, like if I open up the Google Chrome browser, that Google knows that I'm browsing whatever sites I'm browsing, and that they see my click streams. They know all the links I click on. They know the pages I go to, my search history, and that they're using that to help create a good experience on their search engine. That doesn't really bother me. Again, I wish they would just disclose it. I wish they would just be honest about it, right? But how about you? Does that bother you? I'm curious. I know like a lot of people get weirded out about, the big companies like Facebook or Google spying on them. And I don't mind as long as they just tell us the truth and be honest about what they're doing. And otherwise, it doesn't bother me. But how about you? I really want to know what the audience, if anybody here, and either answer is fine. I don't, some people really despise that they track you and, some people get creeped out when, like my wife is convinced that YouTube is listening to us, not YouTube, Facebook is listening to us so that they can show us ads about what we're talking about. So, but I personally believe that they're just so good at understanding user behavior. They know from our signals of what we search, what we browse, what we're doing, and our past behavior. They're just really good at predicting what to show us next. Almost before we realize it. But some people are creeped out by it, and other people, really don't like it. And some people are neutral, like me. I don't really care. All I want is disclosure. I just wish they would be more upfront and more honest and not bury it in some, legalese in a 10,000 page, terms and conditions somewhere. All right. All right. And I don't see anybody answering that. Are you afraid YouTube's going to see your answer? Yeah. You know what's funny is the psychological effect of this, if you think about this, when I was deciding to do the show today, I had a moment where I thought, should I talk about this? Is YouTube going to, penalize me, or are they somehow going to like make my videos less visible, or is Google going to come after me? And I had that thought before deciding to move forward with the content today. And it was just for a moment, just a fleeting thought. But how creepy is that, right? To know that I was like, for however brief period of time, I almost censored myself because of Google's behavior, right? It's kind of a little frightening. Okay, next question.
Yes, this is interesting. So this question says, are comments and chats about site or product comes in top ranking criteria for Google SEO?
It is a ranking factor. In fact, one thing that also came out of this is that Google has denied that reviews are a factor in their search algorithm, and we now know that reviews are a search factor in their algorithm. So another one where Google said, nope, that's not true, but when it was. So Google, in the documents, we now know that yes. So I would assume whether it's comments, expressing positive sentiment. I mean, it's not a stretch, because we know that they're taking like literal product and business reviews as part of their scoring system.
Okay. Tom wants to know, was there anything in the leak showing censorship parameters, such as if something is quote unquote fact checked, or if a certain political leaning or going against mainstream agenda or narrative?
Yes, there was. Let's see. What do I want to say about this? There's some words I don't want to say because I know that they get smacked on YouTube. But the disease that shall not be named was explicitly mentioned in the documentation, and that they were human pruning all of the search results according to a specific. How do I want to say? I want to be very careful about what I say. A specific way of thinking about it. Yeah. So make sense? The disease that shall not be named, and they only wanted a very specific thought process or thinking about that disease that shall not be named. So, and that was explicitly in the documentation. So, so there you go. Oh, also politics, same thing. So that was a political speech, political content is also under a similar thing. So that's another topic that was explicitly mentioned in the documents. So surprise, surprise. Who would have thought?
All right. Gerard, this is a comment. Not a question, but he says, having a garbage account will definitely penalize you.
Yeah, I'm not sure I follow that.
Yeah, maybe if you had some follow-up, maybe we could get some commentary on that.
Yeah. One interesting thing that might be related to that. Well, actually, so there is one other tactical strategy I want to cover in just a moment. So I'm going to take a really quick commercial break. So we'll be right back in just a minute. And then I want to talk about there is a tactical thing that you can do kind of related to that statement, I think. So I'll talk about that in a moment. It's about authority and how Google determines authority and authorship and some other things. So I'm going to give some advice on that, and I have something that you can actually do to be, to get some ranking. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but just super quick, I'm going to go ahead and take a fast commercial break, and then we will be right back. Those of you who are not yet a PushButton AI customer, then you need to check this out. And all you need to do is go to pushbutton.ai/demo, pushbutton.ai/demo, and you can get a live one-on-one appointment to get on Zoom and see this powerful technology in action. And with PushButton AI, it will build an entire business from bottom to top. Everything you need, from your domain name to your logo to videos to audio lessons, an entire course that you can sell as your own, a 30-day email sequence that it writes. You can send a daily email for 30 days, all written by AI, and a whole lot more. It writes your sales page. If you're not sure how to write an expert sales page to convince people to buy stuff, it writes it for you. It writes a free report that you can give away to get subscribers to your list. It even creates and writes the opt-in subscription page to get people to subscribe to get the free report. And it goes on and on and on. It even writes your first 10 blog posts for you, and it can do so much more. Social media posts, ads, all of these things are done, and all you have to do is answer a couple of questions and push a button. Now, PushButton AI is not available to the public at the time of recording this video. And the only way to get in is by invite to our behind-the-scenes beta access. And during your live demo, we'll show you the technology. We'll actually work with you to actually map out an entire course that you could sell as your own. We'll outline the course with you together on the one-on-one Zoom call. And then if you so decide, if you're a good fit, you can come in, join our PushButton AI beta program, and be in business with that very course by the next day. Go to pushbutton.ai/demo to figure out if this powerful technology is right for you. You can register there. You'll book an appointment in the calendar. Be sure you show up. Our team will be very excited to meet you and show you how the tech works, outline your new course for you, and hopefully it's a fit and we can work together to launch your next business. All right, and we're back. Quick question. Anybody here in my 5-day challenge? So those of you who are in my 5-day challenge, we're going to be back in a private, we're going to do some private Q&A today with my challengers. So anybody who's in that 5-day challenge, if you're a VIP in the challenge, you took one of the upgrades, we're going to be doing a special private session behind closed doors with an open chat in just a little bit. We're going to be wrapping up the show in a few minutes. Got some important info to share with you first, and then we'll be wrapping up in a couple of minutes. But if you're in the challenge, watch your inbox. I'm going to be emailing you a link so that you can join me in our private VIP session. So that's happening for anybody in the challenge. Oh, cool. Looks like Jeff is. Any other challengers here? Let me know who else might be in the challenge. Just give me a shout out in the chat. But yeah, if you're in the challenge and you took one of those upgrades, you're going to be invited into the VIP private Q&A. We're going to do that as soon as I get off the air from this show. I'll probably rest my voice for 3 or 4 minutes and then right back on again with all my VIPs. Okay, awesome. Producer Nick. Oh, I know. I was going to talk about authority, and then we'll do our final round of questions. Okay. So at this point, you guys can ask me anything. So whether it's about SEO, about the Google leak, anything I can do to help you in your journey as an entrepreneur today, ask it in the chat now. I'll do my best to answer you, and we'll be doing our wrap up here momentarily, but we'll open it up to anything. So if you want to ask me anything, have any comments about today's show, if you liked or didn't like something, so comments, questions on any topic at all, go ahead and pop those in now, and we'll be doing our final round of Q&A. But when it comes to authority, there's something that I wanted to share that was interesting about those documents. So it is true that Google tracks the authorship of posts. So this was something that I wasn't sure of. I was really on the fence about whether Google was actually doing this, because they talk about authority, right? In their whole, the public PR that they talk about on how they rank websites, they talked about authority. And they talked about somebody who demonstrates knowledge and understanding and authority on a topic is going to may have an easier chance to rank than somebody who doesn't, right? Makes sense. I understand why they would do that. Well, there is actual evidence in the leak that they are indeed tracking the author of your blog posts. So, that could be good or bad, depending upon your point of view, right? So if you're somebody who, whether you have somebody on your team or your staff who is an authority, or whether you're an authority, you actually can get a little bit of a boost by doing that. Okay? It isn't like they're going to penalize. They're not handing out penalties and smacking people for not being an authority, but they are giving people who are an authority a little boost, and they're tracking the authorship. So when you make a blog post, who wrote it, like who's on the byline, is important. If you're using WordPress, for example, and many other platforms do this too, it makes it very easy to tell who the author of that post is. Okay, so just be aware of that. So when you're blogging, the profile that you're blogging under is tracked by Google. And many times your website can be set up. I know WordPress can be set up in this way. This is a change I'm personally going to be making. So now that I've seen this, I'm going to be making this change in my business where I'm going to go ahead and create an author page, right, for myself. It's like my bio will be there, links to my socials, a little bit of info on me. And then now every time Google sees a blog post made under my name, they're going to associate it to me and my authorship, okay? And in topics that I'm a demonstrated expert in, right, like entrepreneurship, marketing, sales, business strategy, things like that. I'm a proven expert. Google can see that from what's published on the internet. My posts will get a little bit of a boost, compared to somebody who maybe has not demonstrated that, or they're blogging under an anonymous name. So just be aware that is something that you can take action about. Okay, so you can research a little about, you can Google about that and learn how to establish authority. And there is some stuff that gets very technical because if you have a reputation in your field or in an area, you become what's called an entity. Basically Google recognizes that you are a thing, right? And the entities can be places, they can be hobbies and topics, they can be people, historical people, modern people, alive or dead. And if you become an entity in Google's mind, there are ways to influence what Google thinks of you as an entity, okay? And if you can influence what Google thinks of you as an entity, and then you can attach that to your authorship, you can boost your content and get better results. So it gets a little technical. So I have to figure out, I want to do some training on this, which I'm curious, anybody here want that training? Would you like to know the technical side of how to establish yourself as an entity and how to influence how Google thinks about you as a person or your company as a brand? You actually can influence that. Yeah, it does get a little technical, right? I know not all of my audience likes the tech, tech stuff. It is a little bit advanced, a little bit technical, but there are things that we can do to influence what Google thinks about us and our companies as brands and as authorities. Oh wow, it seems to be overwhelmingly positive in the comments. Okay. I'll have to figure that out. I don't think it's not a topic that'll probably go over very well on YouTube. YouTube tends to be like more mass market friendly content. So, but it does seem like there's a lot of interest in that. So, all right, well, maybe I'll do it. Yeah, it's quite fascinating, actually, the way it all works. So, yeah, there's something called schema. Some of you might be familiar with that. It's like a whole method of categorizing things into entities, right? And the entity is then attached to a concept or a person or a place, or a noun of some kind. And then it allows Google to get understanding of those individual things. Yeah, but it is a little technical, and we can talk about it. I'll figure out how to do a training on that topic. But But at this point, the actionable thing you can do right now is just to know that this is happening. So if you have a staff member on your team or a partner or somebody that you can blog, when you write blog posts, if they have authority on your topic, you should be utilizing that. You should be using their name or your name on your blog posts. And you should be creating an author page on your website so that Google can clearly see how to do that. And that's built into WordPress, by the way. So like the sites that we build for you on WordPress, you just go in and you can edit your user, the user profile of, that you're going to be using to blog with, and that becomes your author page on your website. It's built in right into WordPress, that functionality. So, and I'll be honest, I've just ignored it. I've taken no action on this. And it's clear now that was a mistake. I should have been doing it. So, okay, cool. Producer Nick, what other questions have we got?
Yes. Tom wants to know, does the leak reveal anything interesting regarding technical SEO? Or did I ask that? I forgot if I asked that.
Yes. So I didn't dig in. Like some of what I just talked about is technical SEO, right? The whole idea of using schema and entities and authorship. That is definitely in there. And there are other technical aspects to this. And I just didn't talk a lot about them today because I think most of the audience, your eyes would glaze over and you'd fall asleep. So, so we didn't get too heavily into that, but there is more in there about technical SEO. And just to define that for everybody, so technical SEO would be just like it sounds. It's the mechanics of what do you do with your pages and your servers and the technical setup of things, and how does that impact your ability to rank in the search engines. That's basically technical SEO. So it's just kind of separate from the content that you put out, and your PR strategy of getting links and all this. But the technical of the nuts and bolts of how you put it together and how that actually impacts your rankings. But yes, there are clues about other technical SEO things in the leak, and maybe I'll talk more about that on a future show.
Okay. Now I'm getting to the part where you asked what people thought about Google basically knowing everything about them and having all this data about them.
Oh,
specifically from Chrome. And we're getting to some of the responses. Do you want to hear what some people said?
Sure. Yeah.
I think you're a little contrarian on this. I think most people think differently. Because you thought it enhanced your Google experience, and I actually agree with you. You thought them having data on you enhance your Google experience, so you're okay as long as they're transparent about it. But Tom says, I detest it. If they want that data, I should know and even be able to enjoy a little profit share for being willing to provide actionable data. No big brother. And,
I agree with that in some respects, right? I think definitely there needs to be more transparency. And then you either, you have the choice to not use Google products or services, right? Which, that's what Google's terrified is that, right? That's why they don't want to talk about it, because they're worried if they have to really clearly, plainly explain to people what they're doing, that they're going to stop using Google products and they're going to uninstall Chrome. They'll start using, maybe the Brave browser and start using some other, DuckDuckGo or something for search, so they're terrified of that. And so they don't want to talk about it. But for us as consumers in the free market, we should have the choice to be able to go, okay, well, I know Google's tracking me and I'm fine with that. It's a trade-off. I'm getting a free browser. I'm getting a great search engine. So I understand that trade-off, and I'm willing to, keep using Google products or services. But for you, that trade-off might not be worth it. And so you're like, you know what? Forget it. I'm uninstalling Chrome, But my point is we need to be given the information so we can make that choice, That's it. Let the free market decide. People will decide whether they're willing to do that or not, but we should be given the information so we can make the choice.
Yeah. I think I agree with your sentiments there. There's a few more. I won't go because I know you want to prioritize the questions, but there's a few more people basically echoing Tom's sentiment.
Yeah.
that they find it creepy or
well, it is a little creepy. To me, the creepy part is that they keep it a secret. It's like someone spying on you, looking through your window, trying to keep it a secret. That's a little weird, a little creepy.
Yeah. Mike says that Morgan Spurlock did an entire documentary on the data that is collected on us, and it is shocking how much info they have.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah. Okay. Another question. This is a good one. The question is, were there any indications that AI will be used to assist in their ranking?
I'm sure they will. I don't know of any specifically in this leak yet. Again, there's so much to go through. So we may uncover more. But it would make sense, right? Just logically, at some point. But the problem at this point, the struggle that Google has of using AI into their search algorithms is that the compute power needed to do it is astronomical. I think a lot of people underestimate or underappreciate just how much processing power it takes to run an AI, right? So like, for example, we have servers where we have our own private AI installed on them, and they're expensive. Like one server to run an AI can cost $5,000-$6,000 a month, and that is at a low volume. So for Google to run a model that works on their billions of pages that they have to index and all that they have to do, it's an enormous task. At some point, there'll be a breakthrough that it will take less compute power. It'll be affordable enough to do it, and then yes, they'll use AI. I am sure of it in their ranking algorithms. But and they still, I'm sure they're using some degree of machine learning already in what they're doing. But even AI gets it wrong. I mean, it was Google's Gemini that told people to put glue in their pizza recipe to keep the cheese to stick on their pizza. And then I think it told somebody else that they should be eating rocks. Like to get their minerals and get a healthy diet. I think is something I read as well. So, at this stage of the game, AI is far from perfect, and it is very, very processing intensive and very expensive to run.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to, there's a big, okay. I got to a good question. This is another one from Mike, and he says, do press releases help rankings?
They definitely can. Realize that press releases, you end up getting published usually on hundreds of different sites. Some of those sites don't ever get traffic, and those aren't going to help you, right? I don't think they're going to hurt you, but they're not going to help you. So, but if you get a press release, especially on a site that's going to get real humans to see the press release and click it, that will have a lot of impact. And I'm a big fan of press releases. In fact, a friend of mine has a whole business that I recommend heartily, Amplifier, Chris Munch and Jay over at Amplifier. That's their whole business model, and I'm a big endorser of that. I think it's a great strategy. Just realize that, out of the hundreds of press releases you get published, a handful of them are going to have actual impact on your rankings, but it is useful. Yeah. One hack that I will tell you is it's really useful to inject your brand name. So your personal name, like if you're an author on your blog, put your name in the titles of your press releases, or your domain name or your brand name, and you will see actual improvement there. So that is a little hack that you can use in press releases.
Okay, cool. Here's a good question. Does the doc simply show parameters, or does it show weighting on what affects ranking most?
It's mostly showing the parameters and notes on how to use it, right? So they're not giving And in some cases, we do have some idea of the weighting, right, of what's more important than other things, but it's not a comprehensive document giving all the precise weights of every factor and all 14,000 factors. So, and personally, I think it's constantly changing. I think the whole system is dynamic and evolving in real time. So I think some factors are more important than others, on a day-by-day basis. But we have evidence in there of general ranking factors. And like I was saying, I would say at the top, is going to be the same old thing as always, links, right? But maybe as important, or maybe just slightly less important, it's a tie. Let's call it a tie, is going to be user behavior. Because the links are really important. That's how your domain authority gets established. That's how a lot of other things in their algorithms are triggered. But human behavior is probably a close second or a tie in terms of importance. So, and then all the other factors from there are quite a lot less important than than those two. Those are the two biggest ones. So I'd say if I were to give you my evaluation from what I've seen so far, it would be those two as the top factors. Then it's going to be the authority of your homepage, of your domain, then the content on your page, then the authority of the author. It's kind of a scale as you go down in terms of the weights of those. And again, I'm not done. And I don't think anybody has done a comprehensive review of the entire document yet. It's a lot.
All right. Oh, Thomas wants to know, this is back on the AI influencers. He wants to know what other tools help to set up AI influencer websites.
Well, we talked about Midjourney, right, to make your consistent characters. And then, what would you think is in second place? HeyGen maybe is next up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say start with Midjourney and HeyGen. Do you have any other recommendations, Nick?
I haven't used it, but I see everyone talking about Leonardo. When I was researching this, Leonardo popped up like 6 different times. I didn't include it because I haven't personally used it, but that's a recurring name that I see coming up.
Yeah, I played around with Leonardo when it first came out, but it's been a long time. So, so I don't think I can really comment on it either. All right, well, there you go.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there are tons of AI tools out there, and they do lots of cool and interesting things. Personally, I would try and keep like a very small AI tech stack. I wouldn't use 99 different tools. I would just get very familiar and comfortable with a handful of tools and stick with them because there's a lot of overlap between these tools, Yeah.
Well, I'm guilty of that. I think I have at least 24 paid AI tools that I'm spending money on. And I probably really only use 3 out of all the tools that I have. Yeah.
Because you see something on Twitter where someone does something crazy with this cool AI tool. You use it once for a novelty, and then you forget you forget to turn off the subscription. Mm-hmm. But for the AI, for example, Midjourney does what I think 6 or 7 different AI tools could do. So, if I had to choose, I would just stick with Midjourney instead of paying $10 to $20 a month for all these other services when Midjourney could do the work of all of them,
Yeah. Cool. All right. Any other questions? So I think that's it for questions because I gotta get over and do the VIP session with the people in the challenge. So I need to be wrapping things up soon. So no more new questions. But was there anybody that had asked something we got to cover?
Yes, a few people wanted to know. They theorized that the leak was intentional from Google, and I want to know what you think.
I don't think so. I think it is too damaging to them. Google has been known to do that. In fact, boy, do I tell this story? Okay, this is going way back, a long time ago. I had a blogging platform that I allowed anyone to come and use to write content on my site. And there was a thing that Google set up. They made it look like it was an SEO tool. Okay. Boy, do I want to tell this story? I guess I will. So they made it look like there was an SEO tool. And what they did is they collected all the data of the people who used the tool so they could identify who all the SEOs were. So they would know if you signed up for this tool, they knew you were a search engine optimization expert. And they knew that you were willing to do black hat things is probably the other thing I'm not going to go any further than that. But so they did this. It was a honeypot, right? So if you think of like the honeypot is used to attract someone into a behavior that you could get them in trouble for, right? So they were doing this. And somebody used my blogging platform, my blogging platform was getting lots of traction. People loved it. They were, it was getting lots of Google rankings. It was a great service. And one of the people signed up anonymously and leaked this and told the world what Google was doing. And what did Google do? They blacklisted my entire domain, all of my customers, and knocked my website off the internet to keep it a secret. Crazy, right? It's pretty awful stuff. So they've been known to do covert, weird operations, I guess we'll say, psychological operations on the SEO community. Okay, they've been caught doing it a few times. So it wouldn't surprise me for them to do a leak like this. I should probably stop talking about this. But anyway, it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think that this leak was intentional. I think it's too damaging. I think it damages Google too much to be intentional. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to stop talking about that. But.
By the way, you asked a question if people were interested in you doing more technical SEO content. And there was a lot of yeses, lots of I'm interested. So there you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to decide. You and I can brainstorm that, Nick. I don't know. We have to figure out how to make technical SEO content that is also mass market friendly. That'll be a challenge, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Mike wants to know, can you find people on Fiverr or other freelance sites where you can find people with the authority to write an article based on that authority?
That's a brilliant idea. And I haven't tried Fiverr, but possibly you can check and see. One of the things that I did on one of my businesses some years ago was there was a medical doctor that I hired to write some content. And then they could attach their name to it. So that is actually something that, especially if you're in a niche, they call it Your Money and Your Life. That's Google's Your Money, Your Life content. And they cover like health topics, disease, investment advice, credit card advice, things like that. And if you're putting out content in one of those topics, Google is especially sensitive to authority. So if you can find and hire someone who has proven authority that is easy to see on the internet, and they'll let you list them in the bio and make that obvious, that will help you. So whether that's available on Fiverr, I couldn't say. I mean, I definitely have hired doctors for that very reason, for health-oriented content. But there you go.
Can you use Help a Reporter Out to do what he's talking about?
Well, no, Help a Reporter Out is more about the reporters want us as experts, not the other way around. But could you, I mean, maybe I don't know if you could become a reporter on well, now they changed their name. It's not Help a Reporter Out anymore. It's, what the heck did they call it now? They changed their name. So, and now I've forgotten what they've changed it to, but there is a service that is used for PR that actually is really good for getting links and PR. And they used to be called Haro, or Help a Reporter Out. They rebranded, and if you go to haro.com, it'll probably redirect there. Now, I don't know if you can register as a journalist and maybe try to find experts that way. That's possible, but I've never tried it.
Got it. Okay. I think, let me make sure. Okay, that's not the last one. We have like one or two more.
Okay.
This one's from Tom. And he says, any interesting insight on local SEO? I suppose this might go into the market/schema portion too, but in general, at least.
Yes. So one thing that they did uncover in those documents was if you have a site that is trying to rank for too many locations on one site, that they actually have a dampening effect and a penalty that they can apply to that. So that is actually in that's a known feature of their ranking system. So, and there probably are others, but that's the one that I know of is that, like let's say you're trying to rank for every city in California, you're going to have a difficult time of doing that. So it used to be easy to do that, right? So I remember back in the day having sites where we listed like the United States, and then we listed every state, and then every city, and we would get all these pages to rank for local terms on one single domain name. And it's not as easy to do that today because of this feature. But it seemed like if you're niching down into one region, and let's say you're going to cover several cities around you in this one tight region, I think you'd be fine. It's really when you're trying to do that on a broader scale, they're making that more difficult.
Is that because they associate that with the like automated mass junk content? Is that why?
Yeah, because people like me abused it in the past.
Got it. Okay. I think that's it.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
That's it.
All right. Awesome. Well, hey, I want to remind you, go look down below. Look below. See down there? Look below. If you see a red button that says subscribe, you got to click it. You'll want to click that. You want to click that red subscribe button because I'm going to be talking a lot more about technical SEO, like we talked about today, authority hacks on how you can use Google's proven systems now in this leak on how to get authority so that your blog posts and your content is ranked above everybody else's. And I'm going to be talking about how to use AI to start businesses. And if you would like that content, it's totally free, right? I'm not charging nothing for it. All I'm charging is a click of that red button down below. So give that subscribe button a tap and make sure you set your alerts. So tap the bell icon. Tell YouTube that you want all notifications because we put out content. We work really hard on that content. Producer Nick knows the whole team is working really hard to make fantastic content to help you as an entrepreneur. You want to get it totally for free. All you got to do is tap that red button, tap the bell icon, and say you want notifications. And if you got value from hanging out with me today, or you just had a good time, you're glad you were here, give that like button a tap. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to be going offline in just a moment. And those of you who are in my we're running a 5-day challenge. Those of you who are VIPs in the challenge, I'm going to send you an email. So in the next 10 minutes or so, you're going to get an email inviting you into our private Q&A. So that's happening next. But that will be a private session for the VIPs. But everyone else, we're going to play a commercial break, and then we're going to be heading out of here. So producer Nick, thank you for your help. Oh, I almost forgot. We can't end without our final dad joke of the day. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Why did the golfer bring an extra pair of pants?
Why?
In case he got a hole in one.
I don't know. I don't like that one that much.
I almost thought you were going to groan on that one.
Almost.
Almost.
Like a week 4, just like a 4 on the dot.
A 4.0. Okay, audience, how does that one score? Is that a 4.0? I kind of like that one, but I like corny jokes. So there we go. Okay, awesome. Well then, yes. So producer Nick, thanks for your score, and thanks for everything you've done to help make the show happen today. And everybody who tuned in, I'm glad you did. I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
You know, the other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had PushButton AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using PushButton AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning, you wouldn't believe.
This PushButton AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
Do you know you can now launch your own online business with the click of a mouse? Sounds crazy, right? Guess what? It's now possible thanks to our game-changing AI software that's helping beginners build a successful online business. If you have tried and failed at building an online business, or you've got no idea where to start, there is good news for you. We are entering a new exciting era of AI, and I'm here to teach you how to use it to build and grow an online business. Because I'm handing you a blueprint, a business in a box powered by AI, and it's called PushButton AI. Imagine a tool so smart it does all the heavy lifting for you. Builds an info product business, sets up hosting, launches the website, and even crafts engaging email sequences. Here's the thing. This isn't like anything else out there, and this is based on what's working right now. PushButton AI is based on my experience of generating over $100 million over the last 20 years and helping over 81,942 customers build and grow their own online businesses. If you'd like to find out more about this, register now and dive into my free live demo to uncover strategies and traffic tricks that will pivot your business and skyrocket your online business from surviving to thriving. Imagine what your life would look like today if you bought Bitcoin when it was $1. You now have the same opportunity with PushButton AI since nobody else is doing this. Don't miss out this time.
Those of you who are not yet a PushButton AI customer, then you need to check this out. And all you need to do is go to pushbutton.ai/demo, pushbutton.ai/demo, and you can get a live one-on-one appointment to get on Zoom and see this powerful technology in action. And with PushButton AI, it will build an entire business from bottom to top. Everything you need, from your domain name to your logo to videos to audio lessons, an entire course that you can sell as your own, a 30-day email sequence that it writes. You can send a daily email for 30 days, all written by AI, and a whole lot more. It writes your sales page. If you're not sure how to write an expert sales page to convince people to buy stuff, it writes it for you. It writes a free report that you can give away to get subscribers to your list. It even creates and writes the opt-in subscription page to get people to subscribe to get the free report. And it goes on and on and on. It even writes your first 10 blog posts for you, and it can do so much more. Social media posts, ads, all of these things are done, and all you have to do is answer a couple of questions and push a button. Now, PushButton AI is not available to the public at the time of recording this video. And the only way to get in is by invite to our behind the scenes beta access. And during your live demo, we'll show you the technology. We'll actually work with you to actually map out an entire course that you could sell as your own. We'll outline the course with you together on the one-on-one Zoom call. And then if you so decide, if you're a good fit, you can come in, join our PushButton AI beta program, and be in business with that very course by the next day. Go to pushbutton.ai/demo to figure out if this powerful technology is right for you. You can register there. You'll book an appointment in the calendar. Be sure you show up. Our team will be very excited to meet you and show you how the tech works, outline your new course for you, and hopefully it's a fit and we can work together to launch your next business.
The presents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
You know, the other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had PushButton AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using PushButton AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning. You wouldn't believe.
This PushButton AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
Not yet a member of PushButton AI, then what are you doing? So I would like to invite you to a free masterclass. We're going to be covering in detail how to create an entire digital online course, an entire business, in fact, that can be set up 100% using AI. And if you'd like to attend that free masterclass, what you're going to want to do is head over right now to pushbutton.ai/free class. In that class, I'm going to show you how we can help two different kinds of people. Number one, if you've got a business and you want to add training, courses, or information to your existing business as a new profit center, or maybe a way to add value to your customers, then I'm going to show you how to do a detailed 10-module training course, including 50 to 60,000 words of content, have it set up and built for you by AI. Also, if you're trying to start your first business online and you're looking for a great business model to make some money online, then PushButton AI is the right solution. And I'll show you how you can use this amazing tool to build an entire business like that. In a snap, PushButton AI will build an entire course for you, create video training, audio training, write your sales page for you, write 30 days of emails for you, create your logo, build your website, set up your shopping cart, set the entire thing up, create a members area so that people can pay you to get access to the course, and you get to charge money and keep all the profits. It's quite easy. You answer 2 questions and you hit a button and it literally does everything for you. A logo, a 30-day email sequence, your sales pages for selling your product. It creates the entire training course that you can charge money for. It installs your website, sets up your hosting, launches your site. It even helps you pick the perfect domain name, all powered by AI. You just literally log in and start up your brand new business. So attend the free masterclass. I'll show you a live demo of how it works. I'll explain the entire business model so you can see exactly how does it work and how do you profit. That's pushbutton.ai/free class. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. You'll see it down below the video down there somewhere. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. It actually will make sure that you're notified next time that we go live. We release content all throughout the week, by the way. So we have videos on additional strategies and tactics we'll be dropping to you all week long. Check out all of our useful content. Head over to pushbutton.ai/free class if you're not yet a customer. Every paying customer, we're going to be taking today's training. We'll take all the prompts, all the resources, everything that you need to use it, and we're going to put it in your paid members area. So you'll see it in your AI profits course inside your members area. On that note, I'll see you there. Bye for now.
Bill McIntosh teaches AI non-stop. Success is his game, marketing's his fame. McIntosh, the marketing ace, follow his lead to the winning place. With AI become a spin, join him now, learn to win. Learn his way, don't delay. If you do, you'll make your fortune today.